Welcome to another game where we're casting the casters on Arabia this time. This time, we've got Nili playing down here in the southeast of the map as the Ethiopians, and up against Nili is Daniel playing as the Poles. And I would say we probably have a random Civ Arabia matchup going on here, although these are two great Civs at what they do, so maybe not. If we analyze the base layouts just a little bit for these players, you can see kind of forward berries for Nili and also a kind of forward gold. Not great, but the wood line directly to the back, so that's good at least. On the other side, Daniel, he has berries between the wood line and the town center. I kind of like seeing the berries here personally because you can wall up here very easily from the wood line to the TC, and then your berries are safe. Gold directly to the back. However, the wood line is a little forward for Daniel. We don't get to see Nili playing too often, especially since the release of Age of Empires 4. Nili's been spending a lot of time over there, not necessarily, well, doing a lot of things, great things for the scene. Nili, a legend of the game, doing great things for the scene, and that means he doesn't get to play as much as probably he would like. Daniel pushing in some deer, and let's look 3 on wood, so probably no Dark Age stuff for Daniel. Nili, on the other hand, is does have 4 on wood, so I would expect a barracks, and yeah, it looks like a pre-milled drush perhaps coming out from Nili. We'll have to see in just a minute. This is a normal house timing, so maybe not. You can see Nili, he doesn't do the little boar trick. Does a normal boar lore over here. Daniel pushing in deer, gathering sheep, actually letting the sheep rot there, and gathering out of the boar, pushing in some more deer. Okay, not a pre-milled rush. Nili dropping the mill now, and Nili, I think, is actually one of the pioneers of popularizing the pre-mill drush. I remember a couple years ago as Nili was doing it and saying this is just better. I think Nili hasn't seen his other boar yet. That is the case. So he's going out and looking for that now, checking some dark areas of the map, and the boar is right here. So he should be able to find that in time, hopefully, for him. Oh, wow. Sneaky boar. Okay, but he finds it. He finds it. Boar tried to stay and hide. A smart boar, as a smart boar should. I'm not really sure what strategies we're going to be seeing, but I think from the Ethiopians, we are going to be seeing some, we'll see, at least men-at-arms, based on what I'm seeing. I would expect to see men-at-arms. You got the 4 wood. Nobody on gold just yet. Is this mined at all? No. Okay, so I would say men-at-arms. The next couple vills go to gold. Okay, Nili dropping the walls, beginning his walls here already in Dark Age. If the next couple villas go to gold, I'm going to say men-at-arms. If not, I'm not sure. Daniel already getting loom, probably going to be headed up. Maybe not men-at-arms, as no villagers gone to gold yet for Nili. Well, Ethiopians do get the extra gold upon leaving the next age. Daniel kindly deciding not to kill this unloomed villager from Nili. Ooh, but Nili's not so kind. Gets the quick walls in. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Guys, are we watching Viper? Did the Viper steal Nili's account? What a move. And Daniel didn't kill this villager, didn't attack it, and instead gonna lose his scout. Oh my goodness, man. And yep. Daniel wisely positions himself by this gate so that if this gate is opened, he can run out. Very smart play there by Daniel. Okay, go in, go in. Nope. Oh, wow, this little dance. Daniel trying to escape through the gate. Nili making sure not to let him. Both players on the way to the feudal age. But Daniel gonna get there quite a bit earlier. Nili gets the scout into the walls. Does have 11 seconds of idle TC time. Don't know if this has been worth it. And he is going men-at-arms. Okay. Is going men-at-arms. This scout is going to die now. I'm assuming this gate is locked. Yes, it is. And scout goes down for Daniel. Nili with the quick walls. Beautiful little play. But we've got Feudal Age already in for our Polish player, Daniel. And he is dropping an archer range already. So it looks like he's going to be doing the small walls to the TC, probably closing off the front afterwards. Over here, honestly, you might as well just go to there. But you never know what these players have scouted. Maybe he sees that, maybe he doesn't. He actually does see that it's fully walled over there, so he might. You can see there. The men-at-arms militia for the moment, but men-at-arms very soon have arrived over here on Daniel's base. But archers already coming out for Daniel, so this is going to get pushed away for Nili very quickly. It should grant him the time that he needs to get archers of his own rolling archer range on the way out. Indeed, more walls coming up. Nili going to have a nicely walled base, a very wallable base that he was gifted with here, or else he just did a very good job scouting it out and making the walls look easy. Actually to here, yes, Daniel is going to have a very well-walled base. The men-at-arms had to run away a bit, and this scout is actually in danger. I'm going to get in and scout out the base a little bit. This is somewhere you could slip in, probably. Not too many vills under the TC. Poles don't like to have a lot of vills under the TC because they have folwarks. Now, how folwarks work is any farms built completely within this area. So that gives you a one-tile space. Yes, a one-tile space. You don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be touching the folwark. That is that's a myth. Any farms built within the space give 20% of their food to the mill as soon as the farm is completed. So what that allows you to do is it gets your food timings in a lot earlier. The scout's gonna go down for Nili more likely than not, especially as he's gonna run over there. Unless it gets out. Nope, it's walled in. That scout is not gonna be getting away. Might last a while. These men-at-arms pushed away, but Nili building his own archers. He's got some idle villager time here. Idle eco. Not too bad, though. 78% worker efficiency is very good. And he is fully walled. So, or going to be fully walled. Just building up his archer mass on that. I would actually like to see him go for skirmishers more than archers, I think, in this play. The reason I would prefer skirmishers is because you're already behind to the archers. You're also only making archers with one archer range. And now you're just down 4 to 4, down a skirmisher already. Whereas if he had, sorry for the pauses, random pauses. I'm sneezing. But if he had gone ahead and made skirmishers off the bat, he would have, 6 skirmishers instead, and 6 skirmishers would beat this army off, and Daniel would have to be at scouts to do anything. And Nili just hanging out on this hill. He's got fletching on the way in. Fletching is in for Daniel. I don't expect a lot to be happening here, so let's look at the macro stats. Neither player super close. Nili with more farmers, Daniel with about 200 more food in the bank already, though, and those are that, like I said, with the full work farms, the food comes in early. And Nili is not walled. Let's see. He should really check that. That's something you should really check. That's kind of bad. That's a big gap you're seeing, and you just believe that to be walled is a mistake here. But not being punished yet by Daniel. So Nili gonna end up taking a fight here. How's this one gonna go? Very even. Dead even on the HPs. 1 HP difference. 4 and 3 versus 3 and 4. So almost even. Even numbers, not quite even in the unit comps. Daniel has more of the counter units, so he should be alright here. And Nili continuing to make archers in a strange consideration. Daniel already on the way up to the castle age, and it just feels like his macro behind this was just a little cleaner, and Nili is in trouble. Nili's going to have to do something pretty drastic. It's going to add scouts. Okay. Did he notice that his opponent was on the way up? This is an interesting play to me. You're really far behind, so you're going to allow yourself to get even further behind by sticking in the feudal age. Now, a feudal all-in is great, but I don't think you're going to be finding the pressure that you want to find here. The space is well protected, fully walled up here with houses. Here, you're not going to break through easily anywhere through here. So, I don't love this. Now, the scouts going to come out, and that army is going to get absolutely shredded by this one singular scout. But that was a big investment. Now, Nili's on the way up. A big investment, and the Poles, weirdly enough, continuing double archery range. So our Ethiopian player is going to really need to pump out some skirmishers. Nili's going to need a lot of skirmishers to stay alive in this game. Here come the archers. So the scout needs to be yoinked away. Run, scout, run. Yeah. And now Nili knows what Daniel's up to, and he's got to be a little bit panicked at this exact moment. And I need to remind you, gaping hole in his base. It's got to be skirmishers. Can't be archers. I just don't think the production's going to be there to beat. Well, let's see. What are the numbers? 10 to 13. So it's not that different. And actually, Daniel has eased up on the production because crossbow bodkin are on the way in. So the numbers are actually even now of archers. Uh-oh. This is getting scary. These archers are heading around. 2 town centers immediately added by Daniel. I don't think he's going to be going into archers for much longer. I think this was archers into crossbows just for a little extra pressure. Nili really panic walling this. But there's a gaping hole. There is a gaping hole. You have to check for these holes. It's not hard. Lock the gate. Send a villager out. Nili noticing now. And Daniel not even heading over to check. How does this happen? Now, if we look at the KD, the Eco KD is 1-0. 10-5 in favor of Daniel. So very even. And Nili actually has the numbers advantage. Daniel, going to be getting a villager lead very quickly with 3 town centers. Nili has the numbers advantage and is going to be able to press his advantage. What can he do with that? He's also adding in knights. I'm expecting a forward siege workshop here soon. I think that's the only thing. Daniel pre-expects the siege workshop or the pressure to come in, dropping siege workshop of his own, realizing his numbers are behind, going to try to defend with just siege. This fight is not great for Daniel, even though it's under the TC. There's not a lot in that TC. Now there is. Now you've got to back out of there, Nili. Stay out of range of the TC, and Daniel actually made that fight work pretty well for him. The KD did close in a lot there, though. Knight is here. Siege Workshop is out. Knights are out. I want to see a Siege Workshop added here. Like, pressure this TC. Pressure somewhere awkward. It's kind of hard to do, though. Second town center being added for Nili. That's really good positioning. That secures this gold and this wood line for him, because he really doesn't have any wood line secured against the archer play. Now, Daniel, now back onto production. Now adding siege, but there are knights already out for Nili. I like this addition. Just a few knights. If he's got the military advantage, he'll be able to snipe off the opponent's units. If the crossbow mass isn't there. Now, the crossbow mass is there at the moment. And Nili, trying to pressure, doesn't have a lot. His production's a little stalled out. I'm not sure why right now. He's getting into the base. He might find a couple villager kills with these knights. These knights have worked out so far as a nice addition. But Nili, gonna really... Oh, wow. Nice little snipes. No ballistics yet for either player. Kind of looked like ballistics. That's a fight you can't really take. But Nili, getting little pot shots in. Does he have an upgrade advantage? No, he doesn't. Not sure how he's able to get little pot shots in with no return fire. He does, of course, have the Ethiopian faster firing crossbows. Third town center being added by Nili. And Daniel adding a university, Nili also adding a university. Matching each other's play. The villager difference, though, is pretty significant. 68 for Daniel and only 51 for Nili. So very much matching each other, but that difference... Uh-oh. Nili, you don't want to be here. Silly Nili. Gets away with it. Absolutely gets away with one there. This pressure, unable to find any significant damage. Our pole player still going into crossbows, adding another archer range and ballistics on the way in now. Wouldn't be surprised to even see padded archer armor coming out. And Nili, the macro has been good. The gameplay has been good. He's managed to get a military lead and hold it when I thought he was going to just die. However, no! Run, Nili. Okay, he gets away. Not too big of a hit there, just a little bit of damage. However, it's the macro that Daniel's done. He's made just enough military to keep all this pressure out. The Eco KD is 2-1 in favor of Nili, and that just means that Daniel has a massive eco advantage. Now with ballistics, now the KD heading back in favor of Daniel, the military back in favor of Daniel, and Imperial Age on the way from our Polish player, and continuing to build Fallworks, which is a little odd to me, seeing as he's just going for crossbows. A few villagers killed off now. Very nice indeed. Mango coming back, and Nili, he found a place to pressure. Now he has to run away. This army for Daniel is just too big. Nili needs to get some kind of crazy all-in pressure here, or else he's just gonna die. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think he's just gonna die. And he's got to get his army together to fight this as well. The Siege Workshop just now coming out for Nili, trying to respond to this. Ooh, I like this little double back. He's going to find a couple Vil kills. This army won't get away, but it's going to find some Vil kills again. Head this way, hit this way. Yes. Nicely done. Shoot, shoot. What? Daniel, stop it. Daniel, stop it. This is insane. When did these players get so stinking good? This is just not even fair. Knight might get a Mangonel snipe here. I think it will. Daniel gives up the Mangonel because he thinks he can catch the crossbows out. He does catch the crossbows out. Gives up the Mangonel, but gets the archer kills anyway. Oh, wow. This fight has gone really well for Nili somehow or another. He got several kills there. But the Eco KD 9-1 because of this insanity of microing. Oh, but the knight is in. Microing against ballistics with villagers. Another villager down and another one. Well, maybe. No. One hit away on that villager. Now, big loop around coming here from about 8 crossbows from Daniel. And Daniel in the Imperial Age. Nili, not going to be happy with that. Does not have the military lead. Doesn't have the eco lead, and now doesn't have the tech lead either. It's going to be Arblister and Bracer coming in immediately, as well as Thumbring. Oh, wow. I somehow missed the fact that Nili had waltzed into Daniel's base. And taking a fight before Arblist and Bracer come in. Great fight for Nili. The best possible outcome. Yeah, his army's getting wiped up, but he got to take a fight before Arblist and Bracer and Thumbring for the most part. Elite Skirmisher being teched into. And that's what's going to be needed. Even Mangonels aren't going to help you out too much here. So this pressure came in way too late. A Siege Workshop Mangonel should come out of there. Clear that up. A few crossbows there would also be good. These guys are going to be having to move away. Knight's getting sniped off. Ooh, no. It gets away. The villager did die there. Nothing coming out of there. And skirmishers and elite skirms on the way in, but there's not enough of them. This looks like the GG is going to be called very soon, as this siege goes down very soon to these Arblisters. It's so weird to say Arblister. I don't know if I'm supposed to say Arblister or Arblist. I've been playing this game for 20 20-some years. I'm 25 years old, and some of the earliest memories of my life are when we got this game. So I think I've been playing this game, or at least watching my brothers play it, for about 22 years. And that means, now this game itself is about 22 years old, right? 25 years for Age of Empires franchise. This game came out 2 years later, 23 years, so yeah. Nili is scrambling up the skirmisher army. There's a lot of idle villagers, and it's just a brief matter of time. Nili's trying to make something happen, but I just don't see any way back. I don't think Daniel's going to make the type of mistakes that's going to be needed, and indeed, no. Nili realizes the same thing, calls the GG statistics. Let's look at them. If we were to break this down, let's return to map a little bit. If we're going to break this game down just a little bit, the big thing I'm going to say is Daniel took his foot off the gas, and instead of trying to close the game out in early Castle Age, which he might have been able to do, he turned that into a massive eco lead and closed it out in Imperial Age, which he was sure he could do. Now, it's weird to go ARBs against one of the best ARB civs in the game, in the Ethiopians, but when you have that macro advantage like Daniel expected to, he was able to. If he got that macro wrong, he would have really suffered from that. But since he got the macro lead, Nili was always just a couple steps behind him in this game. Statistics are going to bear that out. Militarily, Daniel barely with the better KD, very even KD, just matching militaries with Nili and making more economy. And here's where we're going to see that. 4,425 more resources collected, and a little bit more wood, a little bit more food, a little more gold and stone, a little more of everything. And that just meant Nili wasn't able to fight this off when it got to Imperial Age. You can see feudal time, just a little better for Daniel. Castle time, just a little better for Daniel. Imperial time was just going to be a little better for Daniel, a little further ahead each time. And society stats, you can see Nili did end up with a higher max villagers, but it was not for most of the game. You can see through Castle Age, Daniel has the higher villagers here, and it only evens back out as Daniel's going up to the Imperial Age. It's evening out because it's 3 town centers versus 2 working, and you can see this right there that Nili gets ahead right here, right before the end of the game. So not really great there. Just that little macro difference, just such a tiny difference. And the APM dead even APM from these guys. Pretty cool to see. Very similar gameplay, but just a little cleaner from Daniel. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, drop a like. If you want to see some more, subscribe. If not, that's all right. We'll catch you in the next one. See ya.